of you know what I do. I wasn't even going to give an introduction. I think most of you know that I work in a hospital. I play for cancer patients. Yeah. It's been 16 years. This is my 16th year doing that. It's been amazing. It benefits me far more than it does. It's incredible work. I have played for this patient several times over a period of weeks. She almost always welcomes music in a very warm, attentive, and appreciative way, no matter her energy level. Today I play a variety of music, and at one point she asked me if I ever play at funerals. In the course of my work, I have had the privilege and the honor to play at a number of memorials and celebrations of life. She says, "That's good to know. I'm thinking in case things don't go my way, it would make sense for you to play." I think it would be good. Is this high praise? I think so. There are many moments when I don't feel that I'm living up to my potential in my work, for one reason or another. But here's another very special reminder that doing the best one can is often as good as it needs to be. Appreciate it. I meet two family members in the lounge a couple of days ago. They're interested in my instrument and what I do here at Moffitt. I play for them and tell them that I would be pleased to visit with the person they're visiting if that becomes desirable. The next day I meet the patient's spouse, and she lets me know that her husband has decided on hospice care. They would like me to visit and play for him. When I arrive late in the afternoon, the whole family is present, maybe 7 or 8 people. The patient is on his bed, but not in it. Shirtless and thin, alert and welcoming. They assure me that this is a good time for music. Everyone, including the patient, seems alert and eager. I have the sense that whatever I choose to play should be enthusiastic and life-affirming, rather than sad or reflective. I choose a spirited version of This Light of Mine. Everyone is engaged. The patient is supporting my choice of music with his smile, eye contact, and subtle rhythmic movements. When I finish, I see smiles and happy laughter all around the room. One of his daughters, sitting close by the bedside, asks if I will take a request. I know you know this because I've heard you play it before. Bach's Prelude from the First Cello Suite. I do know it, and I play it with as much love and enthusiasm as I can. I follow this with a more reflective, original piece that sounds a bit like Native American prayer. Again, I play with a kind of confident, positive energy inspired by this remarkable family. In the end, I choose to finish with Stand By Me. They thank me heartily and applaud roundly. I'm extremely moved by the way everyone, including the patient, has chosen to live each moment as if it is their last, and at the same time, as if there will be no end to their time together. Truly in the present, appreciating and creating each moment together. As I say goodbye and thank you, walking down the hall, I hear another round of applause, and I'm just amazed at their spirit and energy. Thank you very much. And thanks to everybody. This is really like a big family. Almost all of you, so many special people here that I can get to. Really, I kind of choked up. It's very wonderful. Thank you. It has been said many times in a myriad of different ways that we are never given more than we can handle at any given moment. I don't necessarily agree with such an easy platitude, but when I was called to play music at the bedside of a dying patient today, I felt the same trepidation as always. The feeling that no matter how much training, care, and sincere attention, no matter the years of practice and attention to every detail of my instrument and my sound making, it can never be beautiful enough for this situation, the last moments of someone's life. To be clear, this is not something I do on a regular basis, just sometimes. Add to that a profound awareness of the unspoken needs of the family, and it can be almost paralyzing for me as a player and a practitioner. In this case, the patient's spouse has been eagerly awaiting the music. She warmly welcomes me, hugs me, and tells me a number of times that she can handle as much as I can give. I made a list of possible pieces to play and checked in several times along the way to be sure it wasn't too much. There was a sudden pause about halfway into our time together when she called out to me, and everything got quiet because the patient had stopped breathing for a few moments. I stood quietly and breathed and tried to be simply present. After he began breathing again, she said, "Okay, I'm ready." About 45 minutes into this, a sister came over to ask me to play Amazing Grace. I thought I would finish the piece I was playing, or at least the phrase, but she came back to say, "No, I need right now." The gentleman passed while I was playing, amidst a great many tears and a great deal of love. In the over 15 years I've been playing music for cancer patients, this is the longest session I've ever experienced with an actively dying patient and family. I found myself simply focused on each bow change and each finger placement, knowing that the more relaxed and free my sound could be, the better the music would feel for the patient going through this transition. I am fairly sure that I was really playing for the patient's wife, more so than anyone else. And I do believe that my efforts were valuable and appreciated. Even given another 2 or 3 lifetimes, I don't believe that I could ever play as beautifully as I would like to in this setting, but this time perhaps what I did was just enough. I could end this there, but there are a couple more interesting things that happened. So I had an addendum here. As I was wondering if I should simply pack up and leave, the patient's nurse came over to say thank you and how much it meant to him and the family. He had been caring for this patient for 3 months. He told me, "I love my job. I am studying to be a nurse practitioner and I never want to work anywhere else. I love this place." Amazing. Shortly thereafter, an older family member came over to thank me and said it meant the world to her. My heart felt good. And then there was an epilogue. Before I left the hospital, I had a chance to thank this extraordinary woman that welcomed me so warmly, the patient's wife, for giving me permission to feel good about my contribution. I wanted to let her know that her warmth and openness made it possible for me to do my job better under the circumstances. She responded with smiles and incredulity at my attempts to thank her when she felt so grateful for the way things transpired. She said, "I heard you in the hallway weeks ago and was moved and amazed that someone was doing this. When I found out that you worked here and could visit at the bedside, I was blown away. And the fact that you were able to be here on the very days of his passing to play his favorite song in the moment of his passing, you played him right into heaven. We can't thank you in this place enough. Who does this? Where else could this have happened? Thank you so much." We hugged, and I went upstairs immediately to meditate and process this experience for a while. Yeah, I realized here is inspiration and motivation for the future, and I was grateful beyond words.
I love you, buddy.
Love you too. So, once in a while, I meet someone who simply chooses joy. Instead of being disappointed that I'm not her grandson, she immediately embraces the opportunity to listen to music. She exclaims, "And you have a big toy." After playing a bit, she tells me, "It reaches deep down into my soul. It makes me want to move my body, even when I can't." for, it was a student, and that I have only a few students at it each weekend. One's name is Sydney, and she's in college. And I wrote we wrote that kind of together in a way for her, and she was playing it, you know, more like this, you know, like, and I was accompanying her on piano, which is, I have very limited skills. And after a while, I just thought, if I could play this at work, you know, so I made that unaccompanied arrangement. And she threatened to dance on the video. She wanted to dance. She was going to dance when we made a YouTube video of it, but that hasn't happened yet. It's called Sydney's Stomp. Sydney's Stomp. Hello, where are you playing today? A nurse and her patient in a wheelchair greet me in the elevator. Oh, I don't know yet. Probably up in some of the inpatient units. Will you come by the PCU 4? I will. I'll see you later in the day. I walk into the unit hours later and begin to make my way around, having completely forgotten about this person. But one woman is interested right away, and she's the patient from the elevator. Sometimes somebody's just watching over me. And she's delighted to see me and the big bass violin in her room. More than delighted, she is just thrilled. I play my arrangement of This Little Light of Mine. She's dancing in her bed, enjoying every moment, completely enthralled. I have never seen one of those except on TV. It's bigger than I thought, and you do it so good. I offer to play another tune, but she demurs. We chat a bit, and I gently explain that I would really be happy to play more if she's up for it. I never like to push any music on people, but I had the sense that we could do more. She changed her mind and welcomed another song, this time Stand By Me. This time she cries profusely, but it seems like a good cry. From then on, we talk and share music for quite a while. She says, I was feeling sad and lonely. My heart felt heavy. That's why I said one more song was enough. But when you played again, I felt it all breaking loose. Felt the heaviness lift off my heart, and that was such a good feeling. I feel like my heart is alive again and beating. She is fascinated with seeing and touching the bass up close, feeling the horsehair on the bow. She calls a friend and asks me to play over the phone. We pose for a picture, and she says, no one will believe me. I will never forget this as long as I'm alive, she says. I'm so glad I got to see this and hear your music. I'll never forget it. That made my bloody day. I am smiling inwardly as I hear him say this to his wife as they go for a walk around the unit. This gentleman is warm, funny, and welcoming from the moment I arrive in his doorway, and even more so after I play for him. He tells me that this is the best thing that's happened to him since he came here, except when he found out that he was going to live longer than he thought. Another hospital had left him undiagnosed and untreated for 2 years, told him he had better enjoy the time he had left. Then he came to Moffitt, and even though he hit some roadblocks along the way, they keep finding other avenues for treatment, and he survives and thrives. Today was a special day, he says. This was just fantastic. Real music made my whole bloody day. There's so many people here that I love, but this guy, Josh, he played that piece with me here at another ISB. We made a banjo and bass arrangement, and it was amazing. And unfortunately, he got bored with me, and he's on to other things. But it was fantastic. And I'm so glad Josh is here. It's wonderful. And I'm going to put in a plug for, this is my former student, Desmond Bratton, and he's playing tomorrow with Josh and Ashley, and you need to go. So I'm going to take a chance here now that I'm a little more relaxed. I want to say thank you to someone else here. I've known Philip Smith for about 5 years or so. He's a master bow maker from Tasmania. And he's sitting there in the back corner there. And this is one of his bows. And when I picked this bow up yesterday, I love the bow that I'm playing on, but it's a kind of it's a light bow, and when I try to put out a lot of sound, it gets kind of, I get nervous and it gets nervous. And you probably noticed that a little bit happening today. And this is a beautiful Purple Heart bow, and the style and I don't know how many bows you have left. You sold a bunch of them already. 0! Congratulations. You know about him because his bows, I don't know, maybe the prices are going to go up. but the bows are so reasonable and they're masterpieces. And I've been thinking about a bow for years, and he sent me some from Tasmania, and I tried ones at different, but it wasn't quite the fit. And I'm thinking, when I picked this up yesterday, it felt like a Ferrari. and I don't know if I was afraid to play on it because you know, do something different on a recital. But I'm going to play one tune on it, okay, and see. This is a tune I just enjoy playing for patients. They usually find it a lot of fun. Keep my fingers crossed.
Keep the Ferrari.
Okay, I'm keeping it. It's definitely different, and I'm not used to it. It's a bit heavier bow, but I think it's going to open up some things for me that, I really appreciate it, Philip. And 5 years. I have not written here in a while, but I feel compelled to remember. I'm procrastinating, not getting started playing quickly enough today. I haven't checked my referrals, the inpatient census, but when I finally do, I'm surprised to see a particular patient is still here. They are a young couple, kind, welcoming, and appreciative. We have had multiple visits together, rich and lengthy. Her husband has been equally engaged and appreciative, offering insights into his experience of the music, and actually naming my newest composition. She has had a stem cell transplant and was scheduled to leave earlier this week. As I'm walking into the unit, I see her and find out what's happening. I'm a little worried. I enter the unit and I see a wheelchair and a rolled up foam mattress on it, and I stare at the door long enough for a nurse to come up and tell me that they're on their way out. I'm afraid I have missed them. The door opens, and there they are, my patient and her husband. Instantly, she begins to cry and comes to wrap her arms around me in a big hug. You made my days here so much better. Thank you. The feeling is mutual, I tell her. They make their way down the hall, surrounded by hospital staff members beaming and wishing them well. I watch as she rings the heck out of the celebratory bell the nurses have hung at the exit to the unit, applauding along with the team, and call out, "Good luck." I hope to see them as outpatients in the future. What a fortunate man I am. The other sheet, there is a little bit written here at the bottom. I titled this dramatic title for this program, Music, Life, and Death. But it's like this in a way, you know, I've had the pleasure of working with Melissa Strauss. Yes, we gave she does what I do here in Michigan. And we met for the first time this week, but we worked for months on a presentation which we gave yesterday morning together about the work that we do. And she's been such a very calming influence on me. I can see why she does so well with patients, because she's just this solid, centered person. And it's had a really wonderful influence on me. I've been going to bed early and meditating and doing the right things. And I think partly because I've been hanging out, having dinner with Melissa, and then deciding to do the right thing, and instead of going out for beers. So this morning when I was doing a quick yoga and meditation to try to prepare myself for the day, and I don't know, something about the interactions we've had, and I realized the phrase came to me: we live in the in-between. We live in the in-between, life and death, and we live in the in-between. And we dance, that was it. We dance in the in-between. That was the phrase that came to me. And I don't know where this is going, but I think I'm going to write about this in the future, or I think this is going to be a thing, something that I develop for myself. So in a way, when doing yoga, you're grounding into the earth, and you're also trying to expand into the heavens. Expand your body, expand your energy. So it's this, you're connecting yourself into the earth and also into the sky. And maybe like birth and death are somehow analogous to that earth and sky, but we dance in between. And if we realize how priceless that is, how do we say, against all the odds that we would be able to do that in that space. This is what this is what my patients come to realize when they don't know how much time there is, when it doesn't look like there's an infinite amount of time left. They all come to the conclusion that time is the most precious thing, and that the people and the relationships, generally speaking, in their life are the top priority, absolute top priority. So, anyway, just this idea, I'm gonna keep. I think that's gonna help me when I have to play and just dancing in the in-between, and that's the best we can do, right? It's all we can do. Maybe stop worrying in the in-between, stop being angry in the in-between, maybe stop looking at what's lacking, but dance in the in-between. I don't know, I have to figure it out. But I'm going to read you one more thing, okay? I think I can do it. I received a text message from a patient that I've played for a couple of times. She's having chemotherapy in the infusion center as an outpatient and would love to hear some music if possible. I played for her before, so she had my cell number, so she called me, texted me. And when I got to see her, she asked me how I was doing, and I had just watched this David Attenborough documentary about the end of the world, as we know it. And I was devastated by this thing, like 100 years. I just had a niece that was, my niece just had a baby. It's not long enough for that person to even have a good life, how are we gonna, what's gonna happen here? So I was really having a hard time wrapping my, and since we knew each other, I didn't feel bashful about telling her, what I was feeling. So she said, they tell me that I might have a few more sunrises before it's over, and I'm thinking, I wrote this mantra for myself, and I just found out that my grandson is, or my nephew, is just diagnosed with cancer also. And she said, so I had to share this with him, and I'm going to share it with you. There are no bad days, and now the ordinary is the extraordinary. Woo! To me, that was it. It gave me goosebumps. I was like, screw David Attenborough. I'm gonna dance in the in-between. I'm gonna do my, just do my best. I want to play one last tiny piece for you, okay? Here's one other tiny patient moment. Gentle eyes, kind and willing. I take 3 deep, relaxing breaths and begin. A gentle smile thanking me after each piece. He's joined by a son or a brother and one other guy, and I thank him and tell him how his special presence influenced my playing. He says, your music is a gift to me from the sky. Well, he knew about that in-between, I'm pretty sure. This is called Breath of Trees. this is truly, there's so many people here that we have so much beautiful history, and it's really, honestly, like a family. And it's hard, maybe some of the hardest thing to do to play for your family, I think. And I can't tell you how happy I am that I got through that. Thank you so much.